Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. We have so much fucking news today. There's just so much going on right now. And the reason I don't have a guest today is that I wanted to make sure when we have guests, I'm really working right now on highlighting them and amplifying voices that I think deserve to be amplified and need to be amplified. But we have missed a few things this week because we haven't totally broken them down, and also so much shit has happened in the last 24 hours. So just so much, and I put this out in my tweet. Just so much stuff to talk about today. Just a little bit of a run of show. I want to talk about this I Take Responsibility video because there was a video that went out called I Take Responsibility. It had a bunch of celebrities, very much in the same tone as the Imagine video that Gal Gadot did. So I want to break that down because it is not being received well on the internet. I think I have a different opinion about it, but I want to talk to you guys and see what you're thinking. Also, I saw on our friend Mark Bernardin's Twitter. Thank you, Mark Bernardin, for making me realize how moronic people are still. Not you, Mark. You're amazing. Blackface in solidarity. There are influencers who are doing blackface in solidarity right now. Oh, yes, you heard that right. So we will be talking about that as well. Can you believe it's 2020 and we are still talking about why you shouldn't do blackface? If I'm tired of it, I can only fucking imagine how black people feel. J.K. Rowling, she decided to double, triple, quadruple down on her transphobic comments. So we'll be talking about that as well. Even though every cast member and all of the people seem to be not defending her. And then there's NASCAR. Way to go, NASCAR. We've banned the Confederate flag, and apparently there's some moron who was a NASCAR driver who is leaving because of that. So bye, Felicia. We'll break that down. And then Comic-Con. A little bit of non-BLM, non-quarantine. Well, I guess it's quarantine news. Comic-Con is taking place, but it's Comic-Con from home. And I want to talk about that because nerd stuff is still a thing. So we will be breaking all of that down. And whatever you guys want to talk about, let me know in the super chat, in the Streamlabs, all those things. Talk to me and let me know what you guys are curious about or your thoughts on any of these topics, starting with Larry Lease, who says, on a lighter note, thoughts on virtual Comic-Con. Yes, Larry, we will be talking about that. And I love a good lighter note right now. Lighter notes are very important. He also said, guys, hit that like button. Going back to work in a few weeks. I'm excited. Oh, yeah, there's the fact that this has nothing to do with you, Larry, but Disneyland is opening again, too. So we can talk about that if you guys want. Let me just add that to my list of weird ass shit that we're going to have to try to sort our way through and decipher WTF to do with all that. Also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, a couple things going on in here right now. Matthew Gold said, what is your thoughts on Hartley Sawyer's situation? Do shows need to screen actors, social media more before stuff like this is addressed beforehand? Matthew Gold, we talked about this a lot yesterday. Hartley Sawyer was a big point of topic from yesterday's show, so I recommend listening to that. We talked about it towards the end. But yes, of course, when you hire somebody, you should scan their social media to see if they're talking about beating women and racist and homophobic things. For sure, that's something that should be done. And a lot of companies do that, and they hire people anyway, and then things like this happen. Weston Ira in here says, 2 questions. I'll have to catch the replay of this when I get a decent signal. Number 1, did you see The Commission? I don't know what that means. And what is The Commission? Is it a movie? Number 2, have you started watching Stargirl yet? It's definitely the future of the Arrowverse. BLM, #BLM. No, I have not watched Stargirl yet. I'll let you guys know when I do, though. Hopefully very soon. I just am working on binging the end of Flash right now, and currently I'm watching, I told you guys, Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. That shit is crazy. I just finished episode 2. I don't even fucking know what to say anymore. This shit is nuts and disgusting. I'm also watching 13 Reasons Why right now. I know people have some problems with that show. I don't know whether it's a guilty pleasure of mine or what, but I'm sure as hell watching it. Also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Morse code Z says, if I hear Star Wars, I'll be watching the rest on replay after I finish. Also looking forward to whatever SDCC online is. What do you mean if I hear Star Wars, I'll be watching the rest on replay after I finish? I don't know what that means. So just let me know what you mean. A lot of cryptic shit going on in the Streamlabs today, y'all. Make sure you explain yourself so I know best what you are talking about. Let's see. Drumpf called the Secret Service SS as in Nazis. Drumpf. Is that Donald Trump? I don't even know what that comment means either, Pink Sweets. Talk to me, girl. He's saying the Secret Service is like the SS. Oh my God. So many comparisons to the Holocaust and Nazis right now. I'm like, why is nobody understands these comparisons. Come the fuck on. Let's take them back. Let's dive into the show, guys. Love to know your thoughts on this. Let's start talking about the I Take Responsibility video. First things first, send bunnies if you know what I'm talking about. If you watched the I Take Responsibility video, send bunnies. If you did not, send hearts. I am curious how big this video is right now, as it only had a couple thousand views on YouTube, but I know it was also all over Twitter as well. So we will see where you guys lie on this. Send bunnies if you heard of it. Send hearts if you haven't. For those of you who haven't, let's talk about this. So there was a PSA against racism that was called Take Responsibility and had a bunch of different Hollywood celebrities. Okay, it seems like we're split. Some bunnies, some hearts. No worries, I'll break it down. The video was made in partnership with the NAACP, and it was meant to inspire white people to call out racism and support Black lives, but its A-list roster might not have done so. So this was a PSA that came out today. It had Kristen Bell, it had Kesha, it had Aaron Paul, Stanley Tucci, Bryce Dallas Howard, Deborah Messing, and more. It was definitely star-studded. And it was, if you want to find it on YouTube, it's just hashtag I Take Responsibility. And the YouTube company that put it out, or the YouTube page, it was Confluential Content. And I think this was the only video I could see even on their page. So that was kind of strange. And so it's in black and white, and it's got this kind of somber tone to it. And it starts with all these celebrities coming out and saying, I take responsibility. I take responsibility. I take responsibility. And then they kind of go into more of a script, like I take responsibility for unchecked moments, for every time it was easier to ignore than to call it out for what it was, every not so funny joke, every unfair stereotype, every blatant injustice, no matter how big or small, every time I remained silent, every time I explained away police brutality or turned a blind eye, I take responsibility. Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed in their own homes. These are our brothers and sisters, our friends, our family. We are done watching them die. We are no longer bystanders. We will not be idle. Enough is enough. And so these lines are all kind of chopped up through a group of white celebs, the ones that I just named. Sarah Paulson was there as well. Yeah, so that was what the video was. And it is pretty much universally being panned right now. Twitter is pissed at it. The YouTube comments are pissed at it. And I have to tell you guys, and I think you guys know, I feel like I've got my finger on the pulse, got my ear to the ground. I am a white woman, so there's still shit, of course, that I do not understand, and I'm working to understand. But I was surprised about the amount of hate for this video. Just so much hate. Now, could you call it slightly tone deaf? Possibly, but I feel like, and I was on a meeting this morning. I am on meetings every morning with the AfterBuzz writing team, and the writing team is predominantly Black, and I had to ask and have a lot of my Black coworkers and friends explained to me, why is this so bad? Um, and a lot of them said, because it's not about making a statement like this, it's about actually doing something. And I said, I hear you completely. And I'm just trying to learn because I feel like a lot of these celebrities that are in this video are fucking doing something, like Kristen Bell, for example. I feel like she's hardcore, really putting her money where her mouth is. She's been posting and donating and supporting and lending her platform and all of the things that are too little too late. Of course, right now, this needed to be happening forever ago, but all we can hope is that people are changing, and I'm changing, and I think we want to encourage people to change. So I think it does start with taking responsibility, and then the next step is working on making that change. So I thought it was kind of strange how much hate this was receiving when nobody was saying that this is the only step, but I feel like it's one step. And again, it's not mine to feel because I am white. And so there's some things that I just truly don't understand and might not ever understand. And I just have to know that I don't understand. And so if my Black friends and colleagues and Black Twitter and people are saying that this is fucked up, then they're right. But then they're right, period. For me, when I watched it, I didn't take it that way. I thought that this was just one thing of 15 things. You guys know I've gone over my checklist with you so many times. On the checklist, there's a bunch of things, and you can't just do one of them alone. So you can't just be part of this video and then fucking do nothing. But this is one step on the checklist, taking responsibility and saying out loud that you fucked up and you're going to do better. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it for those of you who did see it or those of you guys who just kind of heard me talk about it. Where do you lie? What did you think? And how did you feel about it? I'm really, really curious. So let me know. Those are kind of my thoughts. Again, acknowledging that my thoughts aren't the important thoughts on this one. But I just thought it was kind of fascinating that when I watched it, I do feel like I'm pretty dialed in right now and really, really sensitive and empathetic. And this one didn't catch me in any kind of way other than, oh, okay, that was a quick 2-minute video. That was kind of nice. Okay. Yeah, curious. So in here, the ailment said, the fact that it's scripted makes it a bit disingenuous, though. If it was coming from the heart, it'd be different. These just look like self-tape auditions. I mean, maybe because they're such good actors, it didn't feel that scripted to me. Like I didn't know if they were speaking and this was just edited together. But you could be right. It could be scripted and then it was sent to them. To me, the only part that felt like totally scripted was the I take responsibility at the beginning and the end where they're all saying the same thing. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it was, I don't know. Colin says that sounds less tone deaf than the Gal Gadot video. You guys know I liked the Gal Gadot video. So I thought they were trying. I'm all for anybody who's trying to raise awareness and then is putting their money where their mouth is. So Rob K says, no matter what the message is, there's only so much a PSA can do. That's totally true. And again, it's not enough. It's just one little thing, one tiny little thing. Garth says, I just watched it. It's 2 minutes of white people being tone deaf and virtue signaling in bad taste. Wow. Yeah. So you guys all see that too. I must just be missing the mark on this one, which happens in life. And you have to be willing to like say that and learn. And I guess I'm just missing the mark on this one, guys. Matthew W says, at least they tried. Kind of how I felt. Kind of. All right. Moving forward, guys, let's talk about something I'm pretty sure we can all agree on. Blackface in solidarity. Let's just start by saying this. And again, if you're listening to this show, I'm sure you already know this, but blackface in solidarity is not a fucking thing. There are a lot of influencers who are doing blackface to show solidarity with BLM, and they are making half of their face blackface and half of their face their normal skin color. And one of them said, "I wish I was black today more than ever." It's going around on Instagram. Talk about fucking tone deaf. I put the images up, but I don't want to get flagged. Woof. See, this is why, in comparison to the previous thing, I'm like, some people are really fucking stupid. This is really fucking stupid. So, and an Instagram post, let's see. One group is seemingly still clueless about how to support Black Lives Matters is influencers. First, they were posting at protests for clout, and now they're doing blackface to show solidarity with the movement. In an Instagram post, satirist and socio-political activist Saint Hoax shared screenshots of influencers who had painted their skin black, along with a brief history of blackface. They wrote, "How can you spread awareness about a subject you know so little about? If you genuinely care about a cause, the least you can do is educate yourself about it." Absolutely agree with that. That's what we're trying to do here on this show. They continued, "It's infuriating that we still need to educate people about the racist and painful history of blackface. We shouldn't be having this conversation in 2020. So freaking true. One of the people who posted, and by the way, I'm looking at an article from Dazed Digital right now. If you guys want to follow along, there's a Dazed Digital article. One of the people posted saying, "I wish I was black today more than ever. Sending my love and full support to people who demand equality and justice for all races anywhere in the world." And she did full-blown blackface and a afro and all of that. One of these says, hashtag we are one. Just because we are black on the outside doesn't mean we are black on, just because we are black on the outside doesn't mean that we are black on the inside. Racist people are the true black heart ones. They are black on the inside, though they don't know it. Maybe if I show you guys back here, it won't totally register. Can you guys see what I am talking about? So there is that. Crazy. Like, that shit is crazy. So I agree. If you are going to be an influencer and an activist right now and you want to speak about this stuff, I think that you should be. And that's what I'm trying to do as I try to educate myself every day. But if you know nothing about the subject matter, if you know nothing about blackface, then what the fuck are you doing preaching? Crazy ass shit. So, yep, that was another thing that I want to talk about on the show today. I'm looking at you guys in the chat right now. Even the statement is crazy. I wish I was black. I know. Glenn, I agree. Holy smokes, says Keith. Lewis Cox says disgusting. Mason Allen, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, even my face right now, just cringe fucking worthy. Just super goddamn cringe worthy. So glad you guys are with me on that one. And again, in comparison to I take responsibility maybe slightly tone deaf, but like, at least they're fucking trying to say something and do something with their platform. Painting yourself in blackface, oh dear fucking God. Oh dear God. So yeah. Let's go into okay, continuing down this road, let's talk about NASCAR. So you guys are talking about that in here. We said we would talk about it on the show today. Two parts to this story. First part being that NASCAR has decided to ban the Confederate flag. Let me check my watch. What year is it? But okay. Good for you guys. Way to go. You know, happy about that. No more Confederate flags. But there was this one fuck, Ray Cicerelli. I don't know how to say his name because I don't fucking follow NASCAR. Ray Cicerelli is leaving NASCAR after the sport banned the Confederate flag at its events. He says, like most morons do, it's been a fun ride and a dream come true. But if this is direction NASCAR is headed, he's not going to participate. It's taken people right to fly. He said he does not believe in kneeling during the national anthem or taking people right to fly whatever flag they love. I could care less about the Confederate flag, but there are people that do, and it doesn't make them a racist. And then he says, fuck one group to cater another. And I ain't spend the money we are to participate in any political BS. Ugh. Come on. Fucking A, how? Fuck one group to cater to another? So you're fucking a group of racists to cater to a group of non-racists. I'm okay with that. Is anybody here not okay with that? Are we good fucking one group to cater to another when the one group is Confederate flag holding racists? I mean, like, please talk to me. Please. I don't understand. Jake, my amazing mod, says someone tweeted Cicerelli was 0-31 in his NASCAR career. He's never been good at anything race related. That's amazing. Race related. But see, that's a joke. We're still learning about what's a joke and what's fucking mean. Come on. Like, I'm so happy to see him go. No, I never heard of him. I don't know who you are. This isn't really you taking a stand. What is this, like, who's upset about somebody not being able to fly a Confederate flag? It is 2020. What country are you living in? Come on, people. Morse Code Z says NASCAR's response was actually pretty funny. I don't know what their response was. I would love to see, though, if one of you guys wants to let me know. I can try to look it up. Or you guys let me know. You guys just fucking let me know. These people are fucking crazy. These people are fucking crazy. Alexander Wilson said, what the fuck is that with the face? That's the stuff that makes me want to take a break from the internet. People really don't know history, do better. I know, talking about the blackface stuff. Who, like, it's just, this month is shining such a light on the ignorance in this country and around the world, but especially in this country. Like, the fuck? What the fuck? And that's how I feel. Okay, so Jake sent me a link. Okay, NASCAR said, we actually had to Google who you were. I'm sure your dozens of fans are real sad about your crusade to defend participation trophies. Oh my God. NASCAR, we had to Google who you were. That's fucking amazing. Good for you, NASCAR. Love that energy out of you. Love that. Going to Bear Hudson in the super chat. As a black man from Detroit, I fear for my life every day based on the color of my skin. I ask all my white brother and sisters to please watch Jane Elliott and support Colin Kaepernick Know Your Rights campaign. Yes and yes, Bear Hudson, absolutely. Even like reading that out loud makes me feel like fucking tearing up. But I appreciate you saying this, and thank you for being here. I'm sorry. I am sorry on behalf of every fucking idiot on the internet that's doing this crazy ass shit, or every person who thinks that they should be able to hold a Confederate flag at a NASCAR event. You're also nice suit, by the way. I like your picture. Thank you for sharing. And you guys all send bunnies for Bear Hudson, who just opened up to us. Bunnies are what we do for love here. It's a whole thing. Who even knows how? All right, guys, moving forward. Moving forward always on this show because there's just so much racist and transphobic shit to get to. Oh, goody. But we did have another Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Morse code Z said, haven't finished Damon/Wit yet. Haven't finished Damon/Wit. Obviously talking Schmodown. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. I love Damon. He's the best. Okay, continuing on. You guys want to talk about J.K. Rowling? Because apparently it is not cool to just apologize. You've got to double, triple, quadruple down. Here's the deal. If you are not part of a group of people, you don't really get to make the rules. Like, if a lot of people have been comparing things to the Holocaust recently. And here's what's up with that. I'm Jewish, so I get to be offended. And I get to say, that's not cool. That's okay. That comparison's whack because I'm Jewish. If you're not Black, you don't get to say what Black people are allowed to find offensive. The same way that I don't understand exactly why that video is offensive, but if my Black friends think it's offensive, then it's fucking offensive. Or tone deaf. So, J.K. Rowling, you don't get to make the rules about trans women because you've never walked a mile in their shoes. Because you're a cis white woman who was born biologically a woman. So, like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's get into it. For several years, JK has made comments about the trans community. And they got worse this week, and we talked about it yesterday on the show. And we're going to continue to talk about it on the show. And actually, on Sunday, a friend of mine, Jayla Rox, who is just a massive force to be reckoned with. She's fucking incredible. She has her own amazing makeup line and company. She's a trans woman who is somebody who I cannot wait to get her opinion on J.K. Rowling, but she's a host also and just a badass chick in general. But so J-Lo will be on the show with us on Sunday, so we'll definitely talk more about this then. But okay, so JK does not believe that trans women are women. That seems to be abundantly clear. She phrases that in every way. And then she tried to double down and kind of explain why and hope that that would make it better, which it obviously didn't, because what the fuck? So let's read some of these quotes. It's all over the internet, but this one's coming from NBC News. She says, "This isn't an easy piece for me to write for reasons that will shortly become clear, but I know it's time to explain myself on an issue surrounded by toxicity. I write this without any desire to add to that toxicity. I mention all this only..." Okay, so Rowling addressed the origin of the claims that she's transphobic And she supported Maya Forstater, a tax specialist who was fired for tweets deemed anti-transgender. Remember that? That was fucking crazy. Rowling then cataloged a series of missteps on Twitter that further led to accusations she is transphobic. She then says, quote, I mention all this only to explain that I knew perfectly well what was going to happen when I supported Maya. I must have been on my fourth or fifth cancellation by then. I expected the threats of violence to be told I was literally killing trans people with my hate, to be called the C word and bitch, and of course for my books to be burned, although one particularly abusive man told me he composted them. She then says that Rowling states that she has 5 reasons for being worried about the new trans activism and deciding I need to speak up. Among these reasons, she mentioned her charity for women and children, being an ex-teacher, her interest in free speech, a concern about the huge explosion in young women wishing to transition, and her experience as a victim of sexual and domestic abuse. While mentioning the increase in young people coming out as transgender, Rowling questions whether there's a contagion fueled by social media that's behind the rise, at one point stating, I've wondered whether if I'd been born 30 years later, I too might have tried to transition. Oh my fucking God. It's hard to get through. The amount of ignorance here is so fucking hard to get through. She also brings up the topic of detransitioning, in which a trans person transitions back to their sex assigned at birth, calling it an increasing phenomenon. While there is little information available on people who detransition, what is available appears to indicate it is an infrequent occurrence. In 2015, a survey of nearly 28,000 people conducted by the US-based National Center for Transgender Equality, only 8% of those respondents reported detransitioning, and 62 of those people said they only detransitioned temporarily. The most common reason for detransitioning, according to the survey, was pressure from a parent, while only 0.4% of respondents said they detransitioned after realizing transitioning wasn't right for them. 0.4%. God, Jesus. Okay, moving on. Later in the piece, she reveals that she's a survivor of domestic abuse and sexual assault and uses the traumatic history of this to discuss the 5th reason why she's deeply concerned about the consequences of the current trans activism. She says, quote, so I want trans women to be safe. At the same time, I do not want to make natal girls and women less safe. When you throw open the doors of bathrooms and changing rooms to any man who believes or feels he's a woman, and as I've said, gender confirmation certificates may now be granted without any need for surgery or hormones, then you open the door to any and all men who wish to come inside. That is the simple truth. All right, I think that's enough of reading her fucking quotes for today. It's so mind-numbingly dim. Let's break it down. It's fucking awful that she was sexually assaulted. That's fucking awful. Any woman or man who experiences sexual trauma, assault, harassment, that fucking sucks and it's awful. It's not like totally relevant in this piece, and I think that it's uncomfortable to talk about this piece while talking about that because she's opening up about her trauma, but that trauma has nothing to do with trans women being women. It's just not. So there's that. Then there's the fact that you don't know what you're talking about at all. And like, do you have any trans friends? Because who are you speaking to? And how do trans women being women make it more dangerous for cis women to be women. What? That doesn't even make sense. The part about the bathroom, I've never been in a bathroom before where somebody walked in and then I had a conversation with them where they were male presenting and I don't even know what situations is fucking talking about in the bathroom. What? In a public place? Like, there's in the women's bathroom, especially, everything's in stalls. So what? And also, the same gender of person can assault the same gender of person. So a woman could assault a woman, and a man could assault a man, and a woman could assault a man, and a man could assault a woman. So what does that have to do with like how somebody identifies as with anything? What? I what? It's fucking baffling. Like every time she speaks about this, I'm like, I know you think you're explaining yourself, but it's like that friend you have. I'm sure we all have this friend who, when they explain something you don't agree with, instead of just acknowledging you guys disagree, they'll keep trying to explain it. And it's like, no, bitch, I heard you the first time. I just don't fucking agree with you. Don't continue to explain it. I heard what you said. We don't agree. Why are you still talking? Are you trying to convince me of your point? Because I don't fucking agree. And I'm not going to agree because you already explained yourself over the past several years and nothing you're saying is bringing new light. So stop trying to explain yourself. I get what you're saying. I just don't fucking agree with you. And they're like, well, let me try this metaphor. Let me try this analogy. No, again, bitch, I heard you. I heard you. I don't agree with you. It's like nobody, absolutely nobody. J.K. Rowling. Let me explain another way. How about you stop explaining something you know nothing about? Same thing as influencers who wear blackface trying to explain that Black Lives Matter. You don't know shit. So stop trying to explain. J.K. Rowling, you clearly don't have trans friends. And you're not trans yourself. So why are you continuing to fucking explain? Crazy shit. So there's my thoughts on that. Again, I told you guys we had some heated topics to get into today. That one being one of them. Let's see what's going on in here. And Moose D joining us. Moose Tack Reviews. Morning, Roxy, 6 a.m. over here. Wow, couldn't sleep. I'm glad I've been able to catch you here. Much love always. Much love. Happy you're here. You rock. Hope the 48-hour essay went well. Thanks, Moose D. Lewis Cox says, indeed, Roxy, about the whole J.K. Rowling thing. Like, right? What? Okay. Mayra M says, not in her defense, but peeves, maybe pervs, who have used being trans to get in the women's restroom. A lot of people use this to go against the trans community. I've never even fucking heard of this, and I've definitely never experienced it. And if that is taking place, that's a problem, but that's not a big enough of a problem. And Mayra, I know you're not saying this, but it's not a big enough of a problem for trans women not to be women. What are we even talking about? Just doesn't even make any sense. Just doesn't even make what? Morse code Z in the Streamlabs says there's a, to me, really disheartening article about how the Potter books are riddled with allusions to her apparently racist and anti-Semitic thinking, along with her transphobia. Oh, I haven't seen that. Oy, is that a fucking rabbit hole we want to go down? Love the resurgence of anti-Semitism recently. Thank you, internet. I know it's not the Jews' time right now to be frustrated with all of the anti-Semitism going about, but holy shit, has it been rampant these days. Just fucking disgusting. Ugh. Sally says, I was once followed by a gross dude into a bathroom. He did not say he was trans. He just followed me because he was fucking awful. Right. Creeps are fucking creeps. That exists. That sucks, Sally. But there's nothing to do with trans women not being trans. Just nothing. Let's get to some brighter news, guys. Some brighter things that are taking place. Comic-Con from home. Who has heard about this? Send bunnies if you know what I'm talking about. Send hearts if you do not. Comic-Con from home, guys. San Diego Comic-Con officially sets their free virtual edition with Comic-Con at home. That is right. You do not have to travel to San Diego Comic-Con. You do not have to purchase a $350 badge or whatever it is this year. You don't have to pay for hotels or anything like that. It does suck that we don't have Comic-Con. A lot of bunnies, a couple hearts, okay? But at least there is this. So it's going to look a little different, but it will be free and available to the masses. So for the first time in the history of the pop culture con, Comic-Con will take place virtually at no cost. So yes, it's called Comic-Con at home. And the dates are going to be the same dates that Comic-Con would have been, which is July 22nd to the 26th. Comic-Con is always like my favorite week of the year. I am dearly going to miss it. But of course, they had to cancel it because who the fuck is going to a convention right now? So I'm happy to hear this. So they had teased initially that home edition. They said hopes to deliver the best of the Comic-Con experience and the sense of its community to anyone with an internet connection and interest in all aspects of pop culture. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff at home. There are going to be panels and presenters, and they're talking about gaming and comics and TV and film and a variety of other topics, publishers, studios, all that stuff taking place. And it's free, which that part I didn't expect Comic-Con to do. TBH, I kind of feel like this would have been a way for them to charge, I don't know, like $10 a day pass or whatever. I'm glad it's free, though. We could definitely use some positivity. Here's one thing I've been thinking a lot about, guys. I would love to get your thoughts on this because this shit's fucking crazy. So I know I talk about this a lot, and I really hope you guys don't think I'm complaining about it because I really good fucking riddance. But my numbers are still continuing to plummet across social media and here. You can see all the time that I was very close to hitting 21K. Now what? We're at 20.4. So a few hundred, as I've gained some. So I've probably lost about 1,000 supporters here. And that's fine because fuck off. If you don't want me talking about BLM, suck my dick. And same thing on my Instagram, my Twitter, just losing followers everywhere. Totally losing followers all over the place, which isn't a complaint. It's just a fact. But the funny thing is, again, you guys know, how did you not know who I was? The most vocal person about everything. But it's crazy how many nerds, and I'm a nerd, so I'm using that word in a loving manner, but it's crazy how many nerds are racists and anti-Semites and homophobic and bigots and that's kind of crazy because I feel like the nerd community should be one that is so accepting, and comic books have been on the forefront of pushing for diversity. And there was diversity in comic books long before we were seeing diversity in comic book movies, obviously. And same thing with TV. So it's just so wild to me that the people that are following me and presumably other people because they're fans of the content, that they're so I don't even want to say conservative because that's the wrong word. Prejudice. Because that's not what nerds stand for. We're inclusive and we love love. And that means all love. That means love for our Black brothers and sisters. That means interracial marriages. That means gay marriage and rights. That means interreligions. And I mean, it means that's what it should mean, at least. And that's not, and same thing with sexism, you know, strong women and believing in women and fighting for women and fighting with women. And not, I don't mean with them like against them. I mean like with them by your side. So I just think it's kind of wild that they clearly missed the mark, you know, when they're reading these comic books or supporting these movies that have such messages of inclusion and love, that that's not what they're retaining from it and not what they're taking. So that's kind of wild. And I know I said we were moving on to lighter things, but I can't help but talk about the shit that pops in my head that really matters right now. But it's kind of interesting for the Comic-Con audience, you know. I always think of that Comic-Con audience because I think of the Comic-Con audience as like a very inclusive, loving, nerdy group who have bad BL. That's the worst part about the Comic-Con group. They have bad BL. And you know when you're in that convention center, oh boy. But it'll be interesting to see who is attending this year and what they're talking about and what the nerds have to say on this matter. And if we see an ugly side come out, if we see a beautiful side come out and all that stuff, because when people say don't be political, it's comic books or movies or TV, inherently, again, I don't think BLM is fucking political. It's human rights, but it's been made political. So fine. Then comic books are political because that's what they fight for. Equality and justice. Truth, justice, and the American way. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? So it's kind of wild that there are people that are so into that stuff, but don't practice what they not even preach, don't practice what they read, don't practice what they watch. Wonder how you guys feel about that. But I definitely will be partaking in Comic-Con. I'm going to miss a lot of the things, of course, about Comic-Con, but I'll be watching and I'm curious and I want to see what's up. Yeah, Earthrealm, Superman fought the KKK in his first comic. Not only that, but like think about the amount of comic book movies and TV shows and comic books in general where they're fighting Nazis. I mean, yet we've got anti-Semites reading those and not taking the point. The KKK, Nazis, I mean, those are some of the biggest villains in comic book history. So yeah, it's just kind of wild. Thank you guys for being so active in the chat today, by the way, guys. I'm trying to keep up with you guys, reading what you're talking about. And I appreciate you being in there. And I wonder from you, who's going to be watching Comic-Con? What are we hoping to see? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment. If you're watching it live, by the way, if you leave a comment afterwards, I really appreciate it. It helps a lot with the algorithms, those YouTube algorithms that I could really use some help with right now as plummeting. Glenn Caesar says, hello, Roxy. Much love to you and all the rock stars band for all the various ways that you've shown your support for the different human rights movements that are presenting concerns in today's world. I don't have a question. Just wanted to say good on you. Glenn, I adore you. I appreciate that. And your support means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all of you guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Another thing that we said that we wanted to talk about today, of course, is Disneyland. I don't know why the fuck I said it like that. But guys, Disneyland, Disney in general, reopening. A lot of things are reopening right now. But those things are things that seat like 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, even restaurants and stuff. Disney, holy shit, that's pretty scary. Disneyland is reopening July 17th. That is the date that people are going to be able to go to Disneyland. Disney World is supposed to open July 11th. Man, oh man. Again, with the bunnies and hearts, guys, I know it'd been a while before the show that we used this, but if you would go to Disneyland when it reopens, so if July you will go to Disneyland, I'm not saying you're going to go, but if you would, send bunnies. If you would not go to Disneyland right now or in July, send hearts. Bunnies for you would go, hearts for you wouldn't. For me, in LA, gyms are opening back up tomorrow. Like I said, restaurants are starting to slowly reopen. There's a lot of stuff. I am definitely going to take my sweet time and see what happens. A lot of hearts. Okay, so a lot of would not go to Disney's. I'm with you. Let's just chill for a second. Like, especially I feel bad because a lot of families are going to try to go, and it's like, come on, don't expose people to that right now. It's just, ugh. You just don't want to rush into Disney. And it sucks that businesses are losing a ton of money. It's not really the business that I feel bad for, it's the employees. Hopefully they're all figured out unemployment and stuff, but I want people to have jobs, but at the same time, they're saying that a lot of places are saying they're reopening because they need like movie theaters, because they need rent. Disney, they need the money. That's not a good reason to reopen. Reopen because it's safe. And are there restrictions? What's the capacity? Nerve wracking. And by the way, I'm obsessed with Disney and I'm desperate to go. Let's see. I like TV9 says, arg, my heart wants to go so bad and my head is smacking my heart. You know what? I like TV. I feel very similarly. Like my heart is there, but my head is like, chill heart. Not time for you yet, babe. Bitch, we're checking in next year. Let's see. Morse code says, I don't think I could go the first month, whatever. Yeah, maybe after a couple months if we don't see a spike or something. Bagel Boy says they're limited capacity and reservation system. I don't know. That shit can't be clean. There's so much bacteria and stuff. There's just so many people going through and so many little kids, and they don't even know how to be clean. And let's be honest, little kids are gross. Don't mean that meanly, just being real. Disney is a tough look. Tough look. It is confusing right now, though, as there's been so many protests and we're not seeing spikes, but we are seeing spikes from Memorial Day weekend, but hasn't been long enough, but they still don't know about timetables on things fully. I mean, this is still fairly new. By the way, where are we at with that vaccine? Still got another year. I mean, it's just a lot. Kids aren't required to wear masks, says Night Serious. Is that about a Disney? Yikes. I want to go. I really do. But it is not worth getting COVID. And also, you guys know I can't do shit like that because my grandparents, but still, just in general. Universal Studios here in Florida had a good first outing. Oh, they're open? I think I heard that. That shit's crazy. That shit is crazy. Kids are magnets for germs. Totally true, Lemmy. All right, guys. So today on the show, we broke down the I Take Responsibility video. Why you can't do blackface in solidarity. That's straight up not a thing. J.K. Rowling, who decided to double, triple, quadruple down on being transphobic as fuck. NASCAR and the moron who left that even NASCAR didn't know that he was a driver. Comic-Con from home. And don't forget to tell me what you guys want to see there and why are some nerds so racist. It's not funny. It's just fucked up. And Disneyland reopening and who would go and who would not. Make sure you leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Rate shit. Is that like ratchet? Music. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate you. I'm not sure guests. I know, again, I told you my friend J-Love Rocks is joining us on Sunday. Look her up. She's an awesome influencer, host, makeup artist, has a makeup line, just killer. And I'm excited to get her thoughts on a lot of things this Sunday. And then tomorrow we are going to be, I believe, do I have DC movie news tomorrow? I don't think so. I don't think we have it tomorrow. So if so, then maybe I'll do the show a little earlier. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll do a thing for that. Like a thing, a tweet. She's losing it, guys. She's really losing it. But yeah, well, we will be up tomorrow, but I don't know about the guest for the next 2 days. Again, I do know about Sunday. So that's my guest. Let me know who you guys want me to have on. Would really appreciate that. Definitely open to so many different suggestions as you guys have seen during this time. Appreciate you guys who've gone to show me patronage. I've lost a lot of patrons during this time and love those of you guys who are joining me right now. Even some of my long time patrons have gone. So that was sad to see, but those of you guys who are supporting me there, I really do appreciate that. Glenn says, any update on the World Girl fundraiser? To be honest, Dorina's having a tough time right now. So Steph and I would like to do one. Dorina, I think, would like to, but she's just doing a lot of other things right now. So we're working on it. But if not there, then I'll do something again here because I do want to do another fundraiser. I know that we have more to give. Hell yeah, team. I know that we can do it because we got to and we will. Yeah. So anyway, appreciate you guys. So grateful for you. Just glad to be able to talk about this crazy ass shit that's going on. We'll continue these conversations. If I maybe I don't have a guest until Sunday, or maybe I do. We'll see. I probably will because you guys know I like to load up with guests. Paris Rose of AfterBuzz, Ross Bristow. Great suggestion. I don't know Paris well. I really like her from what I know of her. I'd have to figure out if I have a way of contacting. I feel like I do. But whoever you guys want on, tag us both in a tweet. We can start a convo there or whatever. Yeah, so that's definitely, but she's great. I'd appreciate having her or a lot of other people that I've reached out to come in. Okay, George Bentley says, Roxy, my mom sent you some money on Patreon. What's your mom's name? I didn't see that. And I don't think that's how Patreon works. Did she become a patron? Her name is Maria. She's watching you right now. Can you get a shout out? Of course she can get a shout out, but let me know what her patron name is. Thanks, George. Gregory Castillo, thank you for the support. Love that. Much love to you. And to all of you guys in here right now, again, really appreciate you for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow. It will either be at 1 or at 2:30, depending on if we're doing DC Movie News. I don't think we're doing DC Movie News tomorrow. I think it's not until next week, so probably at 1 tomorrow. Pink Pushy, no, I haven't had Clark on yet. I was just about to ask her. I saw that she lost the DC Daily job, though, that show went away. So I sent her a message just supporting her because it's so fucking hard to lose a job, especially during this time, and especially a job that I know she loved. So I don't want to bother her right now, but I would love to have her on as well. Would love to. So yeah. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon, and much love, and stay safe, and keep fighting, and keep the conversations going, and have those hard conversations that are challenging to have with your family and your friends, and educate, and don't do blackface in support, because fuck that. Bye.